What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Blue J Tay and I am back again with another one, man. Don't leave anything for later. To me personally, the idea of doing anything later or at a time that may be more convenient for you is nothing more than a form of procrastination. You mentally telling yourself that you're going to put something off until you get that perfect moment or that perfect time, when in reality the perfect time does not exist. And it's a quick little fun fact, but there is not a clock on this earth that is 100% accurate. So why is it that we're relying on something that's not 100% reliable? Why is it that we put so much stock in this idea or this thought of later? The one thing that we depend on most in terms of productivity and taking care of all of our business isn't even 100% accurate. But the only true way that you're going to get anything that you want out of your life is being able to do it, and being able to do it at times where you may not feel like it. Being able to do it at times where you may lack confidence or you may lack the resources that you need in order to progress. In the simplest terms, just learning how to improvise, taking the things that you have available and using those. So if you have anything that you've been putting off, just get started. Do it now, do it tired, and do it without the resources that you swear up and down that you may need. Because when you do overcome that challenge, and you will as long as you don't quit, you will feel a different sense of pride in your ability to go out and make things happen for yourself. You'll feel a different sense of confidence knowing that you didn't have what you believed that you needed in order to overcome certain challenges, but you still overcame those challenges. The thing about life is, we're bound to go through anything. You never know what could possibly happen. And if you aren't prepared and you're still able to overcome certain challenges, you gain a different sense of courage, not only for your life, but for your future. Knowing that you're able to improvise, knowing that no matter what comes, you're going to find a way to surpass and come out on top. The one and only true way of defining what time is this very moment. Time is right now. And if we treat life like all we have is this very moment, then a lot of us will be way further than we could ever imagine, because we're not relying on the what if. We're not relying on the future and everything that the future has in store. We're using this moment and we're using it to our best advantage. And honestly, I believe that this is how we all should live our lives. Because when you have access to something in bulk, whether that's time, whether that's resources, at some point we can tend to misuse or abuse or just take advantage of, in a sense, the things that we feel like we just have and we've always had. So I say that to say that even with time, a lot of us get comfortable. We feel as if we have the time. We feel as if we may have the resources or whatever the case may be. Therefore, we may not work as hard in this very moment as we should be working, because we feel like there's going to be another moment. We feel like there's going to be another opportunity at some point where we could do the exact same thing that we should be doing at this very moment. And in reality, that's just not true. We simply do not know what the future has in store for us. So don't leave anything for later. Don't leave anything out there for the world, for the next person to come try and attempt and potentially succeed and then take your position. Keeping in mind that you won't always get the results that you want, but each attempt, each time that you get up and try, is a valuable lesson that you learn each and every single time. Because I can sit here and tell y'all right now that out of all the things that I've done in my life, of course, we all know that I didn't succeed at everything. But everything that I've tried, I have learned a valuable lesson. And as long as you're conscious, as long as you're aware of that process and taking in everything that you need to take in, these lessons you can use to apply to your life in the future so that you can get different results. And not only that, but just so you can change your life ultimately, because that's what it's about. It's about the baby steps. It's about making some sort of progress each day. Not saying it has to be drastic, not saying it has to be something crazy and bizarre, but you need to be constantly moving forward. Because one thing about behavior, one thing about progress is it's never stagnant. If you aren't moving forward, then you are backtracking. If you aren't constantly growing, then you are doing the complete opposite of that. So we have to constantly keep this in mind when we reach this point, or we're trying to reach this point of success, is that you gotta constantly be going uphill. Just think about it like this. You cannot physically ride a bike uphill and just stop and just think that you're going to be in that same spot. Your bike is going to start to roll backwards. You need to view life like this. You need to view progression and everything that you're trying to get to in this manner, because in reality, that's how it is. If you're not constantly moving forward, if you're not progressing, then you are going to backtrack. You're going to have to do things that you may have done in the past, progress that you've already made, you may have to repeat simply because you're not focused on this concept of baby steps. You're not focused on this concept of just doing the little things so that you can constantly progress. So keep that in mind while you're on your journey. Keep this in mind while you're going through your life and you're building and you're working on something, that day by day, step by step, it needs to be the little things that you focus on above all. And one thing that I feel like was really hard for me to overcome with this idea of not leaving anything for later is just being honest with myself. Truly asking myself, what is the reasons why, or what are the reasons why I'm postponing anything that I'm doing or I would like to do? Is it because I may feel like I don't have the resources? Is it because I simply lack the confidence? Does it put me in a position where I may have anxiety or I may feel vulnerable? Whatever the case may be, you have to be honest with yourself, because when you're honest and you diagnose your problems, then it makes it a lot easier for you to assess them. So I realized that when I was going through certain things at my low points in life where I was putting things off, that they all stemmed from some form of social anxiety. I didn't like being social. I didn't like speaking or even being around people, really. So I had to get myself in a position to do those things. I feel like the biggest way to overcome anything in life is to go through it. Face the problem head on and not run from it, because you can only run from a problem for so long before it all catches up to you. And then the sad part about that, if you've been running from something, is the fact that at some point, whenever it may catch you, you're more than likely going to be unprepared. So why not take the time to prepare for that problem, to prepare for whatever it is that may make you uncomfortable, and face it at that very moment so that you can overcome it and get through it. And when it comes to your life, you should always think now or never. You should think, I have this very moment, or it may potentially never happen. And when you start thinking like this, you'll quickly realize how fast your life changed, because you'll start to see way more progress. You'll start to put yourself in a position to actually grow at this very moment, not relying so much on the future and what's to come. And I feel like that's a lot of people's problem. This was my problem for the longest time, is just believing that you have time. But like I said in plenty of my other videos, I believe that time is like nearly an illusion. Time is exactly what we have at this very moment. Time is something that should be cherished and valued, because we don't know how much or how less of it that we have, left at this very moment. So that's just something that you have to keep in mind when it comes to your dreams, anything that you're building, anything that you want to do, or anything that you've done. It's just that time may or may not be on your side. So with that being said, I don't know about y'all, but I'd rather just do something now with that concept understood, not relying on, what's to come or the previous or the next day. Whatever you may want to do, man, just do whatever you can at this very moment and just go with it, just rock with it, because I promise you, even if you do decide to wait, you will never just feel like you have the best energy or all the resources that you want in order to take care of the business that you need to take care of. And when you do it now, when you do it tired, when you do it when you don't feel like it, it builds a whole lot of character that in reality you simply need. You need to feel that way. You need to feel like you didn't feel like it, or you were on edge, or you didn't have the confidence, whatever the case may be, because these are the things that you are going to carry along with you during your journey. You're going to remember that time where you may not have felt like doing the one thing that you knew you needed to do, but you got up and you did it anyway. You got up and you didn't think too much about it. You just made things happen. And I guarantee you, just think about any time where, it comes to going to the gym. There's plenty of days where I don't physically feel like going to the gym. But there's one thing that I know we can all agree on, and it's the fact that you will never regret doing something like that. You will never regret getting up and going to the gym when you were tired, or when you were exhausted, or when you just didn't feel like it. And there's a reason for that. It's because your ability to overcome that challenge, your ability to get up when you didn't feel like it, puts you in a completely different headspace where you gain this different sense of, pride and courage for your life, knowing that you overcame certain challenges that were in reality hard for you to overcome. So really just take that in mind, man, when you're going through your day-to-day, and really just push forward and keep going and keep growing. But you have to do it. You have to do it now. You have to do it tired. You have to do it in your current position, no matter where you are. If you're not where you want to be, that is not an excuse. If you do not have the help that you feel like you need, that is not an excuse. There are plenty of people out here in your current position who have business to take care of, and by any means necessary, they get it done. And they don't hold anybody accountable or hold anybody to those expectations but themselves. But if you made it to the end of the video, I just want to say thank you so much. It's your boy Blue Jay Tay. Drop a like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.